fit. Kun je me horen trouwens? Nee. Kun je me horen? Ik kan de muziek horen, ja. Ja, ik hoor. Background, ja, ik zie hem, ja. Nou, hij is wel beter dan de vorige. De vorige was een beetje scheef. Want bij mij, als ik hem nog doe. Wat bedoel je? De titel van de podcast zelf. Avowed in pre-production. Wat bedoel je daarmee? Bedoel je Avowed? Die game van... ja, zo schrijf je het niet. Nee, dan schrijf je A-V-O-W-E-D. Ava, ja. It's okay.
Hey! Okay.
If you didn't have me, yeah? By the way, am I clear? Because I'm using my phone.
You sound good. Okay. Alright. Nice. You did a really good job.
It took him an hour. Oh, we're all right?
Oh, it's showing the countdown, and apparently we can be heard. OBS, so I can't really give any advice. Because like on OBS, you can create different scenes and switch between them. Yeah, the music is playing.
I can't listen to it now because it's like...
Not One Piece, is it?
Oh yeah, that's why I don't know it.
What's that? No one talks shit. This chat can hear us. This is the pre-show.
Yeah,
Pre-show. Good. I mean, the timer's already at like 2 minutes, so might as well just wait.
Are you fine?
You sound fine.
They don't know what that is.
The other thing you meant to show you how to do it in Discord.
On YouTube. Like on YouTube, it's easy to
On YouTube?
Okay. Can you write something in chat, please?
Yeah.
And Weeb also. And Morgan, can you also write something in chat? Anything?
Alright, I wrote something.
Yes, anything.
Literally
anything.
something.
I hate Homer. Anything. Yeah, see, something. Thank you. There you go.
Hey, what's going
I
on,
just
DJ?
added K. Now, okay, so I need to work. See how it's not well. The timer is
Alright, it worked for me.
writing, so this is not good. I need to fix it later. But at any case, let me stop the music stop. So let's switch to my normal layout. People should see
What's
us
going on,
right
Bam Bam?
now. Yeah. In any second disappear.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah, the new layout is the old layout is there. So okay, Morgan. Yeah, hey, I found you, Morgan. No, Morgan. Moderator. And now all we need is Weeb. Weeb. Okay, so my mic is
JCat
low.
says
My
your mic is
good
low.
to know. Is my mic better? JCat.
Look at Morgan over there. Yas.
JCat, is my mic better now? Oh,
God damn it.
Yeah, it's better
okay,
now.
good. Yeah, it was next to me, so that's why it was on the low side. Okay, fuck the intro. Not per se the intro, but how are you doing and everything, because people are already hearing us. Yeah, this is going to be a fun episode. I love it. Let me.
You need to add our mascot.
No, I am not gonna do that.
Where's
I am not gonna do
Otter,
that.
yeah.
No, I genuinely thought about
Otter
it.
Nation.
I actually wanted
The
to
Otter.
surprise you guys
You're
with,
dying of
with
hate.
one, but no, I'm still thinking about it. Anyway, Kay, introduce yourself.
I'm Kay. I'm almost done with Kana. I'm about to fight Toshi, so I'll be glad when I'm done. Like, it's been a great game, but I'm just at the point to where I'm ready just to finish the game and move on to 13 Sentinels.
You're the same story as Innate. Innate at least finished Kayla now. Go, okay. Innate.
Yeah, of course, Innate, or also on Twitter as the real Innate. Like they just said, just finished Kana, playing 13 Sentinels right now, as well as Far Cry 6.
You got Far Cry
on
6.
PC.
How is that game?
So, it's been pretty good so far. It's way more fun in co-op because I've been playing with my younger brother and we were acting a whole fool, so it just makes it that much funnier when you're just running up on NPCs together, just killing whole bases
You can't
before they can even hit it.
co-op that game, can you?
I don't. No, you can't. Yeah, no couch co-op.
Damn.
Yeah, you both gotta
Okay.
have it.
There needs to be more couch co-op games.
Okay,
Yes.
Morgan, go ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, so I'm Morgan. You can find me on Twitter, Chill Bandit. I'm also playing Far Cry 6. I'm having a really fun time with it. I do wish it was couch co-op so I could play with my sister. But yeah, I need to get back into Kana. You know, like
You're slacking.
90% done, like right at the mountain. I know, but then like right before I finished, that's when they hit us with like a slew of games, and I just like jumped on the like.
Yeah,
you
you
did.
know,
Alan
That's
Wake.
you're a
great.
few hours.
Yes,
You're a
Alan
few hours
Wake.
away. Yeah.
Far Cry 6. Yeah, so I got to jump back into it, but I'm convinced that I'm going to finish it.
Which difficulty are you
this
playing
upcoming
on?
week,
Depends
so.
on that.
Yeah.
Oh. Boo!
I don't like hard or anything
Boo!
like that.
Yeah,
Boo!
I played on normal too. I was like, I feel you. My
Hey,
time set up.
hey, at least,
Facts.
Right. I don't got
at
time to
least
fight
I
that
got
hard.
the plot, and I got it. I
You did.
got it
Oh,
the
man.
normal way. I didn't cheat it. I genuinely had to play the entire game again on the hardest difficulty and fight that final boss. Oh my god, that final boss. You know, Nate, you know.
I do.
In your opinion, of mine, would you agree that the final boss was not hard, but rather the Wood Knight fight was the one that is exhausting?
Oh my god. Wood knife fight.
Yeah, yeah, the final boss wasn't that hard. His patterns
Yeah.
and stuff were, I mean, he's so big that his patterns and stuff are fairly easy to read. So that wasn't too bad. But yeah, a lot of the boss fights throughout, like you said, the Wood Knight and stuff,
Like
were
exactly,
definitely harder for
that's
me.
almost like a run ender. Like you're doing so good, and then they
Yeah.
put you on hold with that huge HP absorb, and you're like, why? Like it's pointless. You're fighting for almost 5 minutes. What feels like Stardust, and it genuinely, it's sad that it's like that. Yeah. Weeb, you here? Blue, go ahead, introduce
Yeah, I'm
yourself.
here. I thought you forgot
Hey.
about me. Blue Rhino, aka the Weep Sheriff. I'm playing Lost Judgment right now after finishing Metroid Dread, but
Are
I'm
you
not allowed to
Weeb
talk
or are
about
you Akira?
because Nate will get pissed off. What the
Are
hell?
you sure?
No, I'm a Weep.
Because Akira played Lost Judgment. That's why. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, I think more people have played
I'm
it.
just.
Could be just me.
It's on the list.
Yeah.
It's on the list. Yeah. Yeah, and apparently I'm still another mod. Or am I?
You were playing Lost Judgment. Continue.
Yes, after finishing Metroid Dread, which is awesome, but I'll shut up because Nate will get mad at me.
I won't get mad. I won't get mad. You can enjoy it all you want. I know you loved it.
Metroid, you loved it. Okay, yay. Okay, so I'm
Yeah.
Karaba. You all know me. I've been playing East 9. I'm loving the game. I'm loving the combat. Hey, Darkwing Gaming. I am. Yeah, I am so curious about the story, dude. Like the shit that's happening. I'm like, why? What's happening? And it's very East 8-esque, but at the same time it's not. You know what I'm talking about, Blue. And I'm genuinely interested.
Yes.
Where are they going with the story? And Blue, would you agree, at least for me, when they introduce that Primo, what's his name? That not that dinosaur on fire. That's
Yeah,
when the game
what you mean.
started to ramp up in difficulty. In my opinion, like that boss
Yeah.
almost had me
True,
killed.
yeah.
Well, one character killed, but I'm genuinely loving it. Subbak Roger. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, this is going to be a very interesting show.
Also, for the record, you should introduce yourself as Karaba,
What is
aka Big Rabba in
what's
the
the
hood
big
from now
grabba? What is the big grabba?
Face God.
That's what.
Yeah,
that's what
I
Broken
saw it
Games
logical
HD
nonsense
called
calling me
you.
as well. I'm like, what is that? Oh, big grab. Oh, now I understand what it is. Okay, yeah. Now I understand. It. Yeah, no, shout out to Broken James. Weapon Wheel podcast. Great podcast. Yeah. We're missing a few people. Race, Akira. Akira is a permanent member now. He's probably with what's his name? Wooly. So when Wooly is done, Akira is gonna jump back in.
No, Akira
Yeah.
said he couldn't
Sorry?
make it because something came up at work. Akira said he couldn't make it. He can't make it because
I
something
thought he
came up
was
at work.
bully. Okay. Okay.
It's all good.
Let's just start
he
with
messaged on the,
with the first topic, which is Nintendoing. Yeah, I am proud of this title. I am genuinely proud because that's what it is. Nintendo is Nintendoing, and people are okay with it. Actually, they're defending it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
They
it's
definitely are.
sickening. Like, it's sickening because when PlayStation and Xbox gonna see this, they're gonna want to do the same thing. And this is why I started podcasting, to call out competition. I don't like this. I genuinely don't. And if you're a Nintendo fan, you should call out what's happening. This is not okay. Oh my god. I genuinely hate it when people allow competition to screw them over and they're like I literally shared DM'd with you with people being genuinely not okay with it, but at the same time they're still gonna buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Here, let me get the DM because it's actually crazy, dude. When you listen, okay, so here, there are two, but one is literally an entire conversation about it, and it's genuinely insane that people are okay with this. For the people who don't know, here, let me explain. Nintendo raised up their prices for their online, and yeah, one person said $50. Am I right? Am I reading this right? And he put out a screenshot saying our expectation for you were low, but holy fuck. So, and then the next scene, this is the same dude, mind you. One person said, I mean, I still gonna buy it anyway because I love the Nintendo 64 so much. And then the same dude that was disappointed, he's like, yeah, same, lol. Like, no! No!
By the way, Corral, just to be clear, they're not jacking up the prices of the online. They're adding a new tier to it.
Yes.
Right.
Go ahead, explain it then. If I didn't explain it correctly. Go ahead.
They're adding a new tier to it, which is at that $50 you mentioned, where you can get access to a select amount of the Nintendo 64 games and Genesis games, and you're getting the expansion for Animal Crossing, which costs you $25 euros if you have
In
to
your
buy
opinion,
it yourself.
is this okay, what they're doing?
No, that's definitely a dangerous precedent, because if they're indeed adding tiers to it, PlayStation and Microsoft could, or Sony and
Exactly.
Microsoft could do the same thing. So yeah,
Exactly.
that's a dangerous development. Sure.
Nate?
Yeah, man. I mean, to tell you the truth, I mean, I laughed pretty hard when I seen it. I'm sure Nintendo gonna get a gang of people with this the same way they did when they sold cardboard. Like, I mean, it's just the truth. Only
Yep,
Nintendo
Nintendo
can
is
do Nintendo
Nintendoing.
things.
That's exactly the title.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's a joke. I mean, real talk. Let's be real. The only thing I want from them is I want my freaking messaging and some decent, at least maybe some voice chat, but at least the messaging, because for them to come out with this expansion and then not actually update the online appropriately at this point is so annoying, because not, if you guys haven't experienced it, but I played the Marvel Ultimate Alliance online. I met some people on there that were really high level, that were really down to help me. But it's like, if I didn't figure out a way to get around the messaging to them, or they weren't in the Marvel Ultimate Alliance Discord or something, like there's no way to tell people, hey, meet me in the little Nintendo chat app, so we can talk or whatever. Like there's no indicator. So it's like that kind of stuff frustrates me when they're trying to jack up the price and come up with all these bullshit schemes to just make more money ultimately. And it's like, your online is trash.
They don't even have trophies, dude.
Yeah, it's terrible. Well, it's like, I mean, if I could communicate first, like, I mean, I want trophies, but like, damn, I'm like, can I send an emoji or something? Like, can I get something? Like, I can't. Zero communication. And it's like, they're like, oh, but their whole idea is like protecting people. But I'm like, bro, I'm 35 years old, bro. Like, I need to talk to people that I can communicate with while we're playing a game, and it's like, that's just frustrating for me. So, I mean, ultimately, me and my team, we're gonna keep it pushing. One of my longtime buddies I game with, he basically, all of us that have a Switch, he just pays for the family plan. And we all just jumped on that plan, and he just pays for it every Christmas and calls it a Christmas present for everybody. So we're going to keep it moving for that and keep playing, Smash Online.
You're one of the problems then.
Call it good. No. I'm talking about the $34.99 family plan, the standard one.
Okay.
Yeah, we ain't doing that expansion trash. Nah.
Okay.
That's a joke. Me and everybody that's also in that Discord, we all game on PC, and the one homie that pays for it has like 19 emulator devices.
Good.
Ain't nobody paying for that trash.
I wanna reply to a comment made by JCat. He or she, I have no idea who the person is, said it's their choice, their money. Karaba. If they wanna spend their money on that, that's up to them. Vote with your own wallet.
Definitely gonna
why
vote with that wallet.
I agree and disagree. While it's their choice and vote with your own wallet are good, if companies see this and they see this take off, this could be the next pay for online bullshit. This is what happened at first when Microsoft started with pay for online, and then a year later PlayStation followed, and then later Nintendo followed. So if this takes off, PlayStation are gonna see it, and they're gonna create their own thing, and Xbox as well. This is why I disagree with vote with your wallet is gonna do anything about it. It's not gonna do anything about it, sadly. Like, Nintendo got away with selling card boxes. Let that sink in when we go to the next person. Okay.
Yeah, you guys pretty much said what I was gonna say about Nintendo. Yes, you can vote for your vote with your wallet. Something does need to be said though for those that are in the Nintendo ecosystem. Because like it does set a bad precedent to where, like you were saying, PlayStation and Xbox might follow. Like, yes, it's good that they're not doing like what Xbox was trying to do, with where they were hiking up the price for it just in general, that they are just adding an extra tier. But something does need to be said, because we don't want PlayStation doing that too. Because like Xbox, they started charging to play online first. Because PS3, you didn't have to pay to be online, and then the PS4 came out because they saw Xbox was making a lot more money charging people to play online, and then so PlayStation followed through, and we don't want that to happen.
Okay, Morgan.
Yeah, first of all, okay, you killed me with that next lava. It's gonna be styrofoam. Oh my god, you're so stupid. But yeah, I remember seeing the announcement. I was scrolling on Twitter about the next tier of online for Nintendo, and I'm thinking, before I even read it, I was like, okay, I wonder if all the features are gonna get added finally. With this price tag of $50, I was like, okay, so we're gonna get voice chat, messaging, trophies, maybe. Like I was excited. I read it and I was like, wait a minute, this can't be it. Like, hold up. So I went on Nintendo's site. Trying to find there's got to be something I'm missing. I was like, man, this can't be it. Just some expansion and all this stuff. But yeah, I like a Nate, I just laughed because I was like, this is definitely Nintendo. Charging extra money for this, nonchalant, extra stuff that who knows how many people are going to actually utilize. Because there's a lot of Nintendo fans that don't even play Animal Crossing, even though it's a big seller. But I saw some people, retorting that, when some people would say that with, oh, well, they could possibly be adding, different DLCs every month and stuff like that, trying to justify it. And I was just laughing because who knows?
They don't know Nintendo.
Exactly. That's why I laughed. I was like, you really think Nintendo's going to do that? Just throw some new DLC in that package every month. I was just like, all right. But
Nintendo don't do nothing they ain't got to do.
Exactly. And that's the thing is as sad as this whole pricing situation and is Nintendo fans are gonna eat this up. I can see this selling very well. This whole thing taking off, them doing numbers with this. This is so sad. Because like you said, these companies, they watch each other very closely. And if they see another company making hand over fist with something as simple as a service, especially a service that doesn't even have all the stuff that PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live has for an extra $10, they're gonna be like, oh man, let's do some tier systems of our own. Let's You know what? Let's take off the free games that we give every month or something like that. Let's make that tier 2. Okay, well, if you want the games, you got to pay extra $10. Or if you want they're gonna find some way to package these online services up, and I just really hope that doesn't happen. Hopefully, they realize PlayStation and Xbox that if we try that, it would get great backlash. Hopefully, they're aware that this is a Nintendo anomaly, and that don't do that with these systems. But I don't know.
I fear everything what you said is going to be true. I genuinely fear that PlayStation and Xbox are gonna catch up on this and create their own version.
Yeah.
What the real scummy thing is about this is that Nintendo's also locking their virtual console behind this online, right? Because all these games are basically just only accessible if you get the subscription.
Yep.
You mean the ones that they give you and then they take them away?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, I'm happy to pay for these games, even though I probably already own them, or I can get ROMs or whatever. But if you give me an option to pay for them separately, I'm happy to do that. But they're not even giving you that option. So much for game preservation, huh?
Yeah, I'm glad I have a Nintendo 64 and I have the games that I like to go back and play.
I still have mine.
Shout out to Sick Human TV, aka No Cap Podcast. In the house. Yep. Woo. Let's move on to the next. No. This is a cool dude. He does some fantastic work. Yeah, I know. No. I'm genuinely happy that he came in. We're gonna move to the next topic, which is going to be Avowed in pre-production. Excuse me? Who's gonna wanna start first? Nate, I'm gonna give it to you, cause you know how to break things down. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, as far as it being in pre-production, I find that wording odd to begin with, based on the footage that was shown to us. It wasn't very much, but what we saw looked like in-game footage, so I find it kind of odd for them to word it as in being in pre-production. In that regard, like it just seems weird because I'm like, something that's in pre-production implies that it hasn't actually started being produced yet. So I was like, how exactly did we see gameplay of it, even if it was only like 8 seconds? Like that didn't make any sense to me. So I thought that was really suspect. I'm curious how they're going to explain that one. I mean, I still don't think the game's in trouble or anything weird like that. I mean, Obsidian is a machine when it comes to these types of games, so I don't think it's any cause for concern or anything like that. I just feel like it. I'm hoping it's just something lost in the PR. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been a big fan of them for a while, and they just I don't know. I feel like they something just got mixed up in that. So I'm interested to see what they say, since Microsoft, if they do one thing, they love to talk. So I find it kind of funny that they were silent after that came out. So yeah, man, I'm just curious. Like I said, I don't think it's a big deal. I just think the wording was funny, and I mean, I think we'll know pretty soon. If it's not shown again until like E3, then we'll know that was probably fairly true. I think the main reason why they might have worded it pre-production and after giving it some thought was because they were working on finishing the DLC originally for their previous
Outer
game,
World.
which was the Outer Worlds. Exactly. Yeah, so I think maybe that's why they were saying it wasn't in production, because everyone at Obsidian wasn't full force on it. So maybe that's why they stated that. Because, like I said, pre-production just doesn't make any sense for a game that we saw some of already. So yeah, that's really my take on it. Like I said, it's not nothing big
I want
for
to
me.
say two things. First of all, J-Cut said that that was CGI and not in game. What's your opinion on that?
I'm gonna have to go back and look at that because it looked in game to me. So I mean, if they didn't actually state
Okay.
what it was, so that's true. So it definitely could have been, or in-engine rendered. So that also could have been the case, but
I wanna
it was very
ask
fast.
you that one thing is which remember that gameplay that we seen from Cyberpunk 77? That was all fake.
Yeah.
They
What
said
gameplay?
that they showcased like none of that was real. Yeah.
You mean the 54 minutes? That was very real. You play some of that in the game. It was just there were things that were taken away from it that were altered, like the wall running or whatever. But that mission, you actually play that mission in the game.
I remember reading about a game showcase that was totally fake. Here's the thing, companies.
I mean, like that Crackdown 3 tech demo.
Actual gameplay.
That was fake.
That it's just a slice of something. I forgot what it's called. But they can get away with show you something that looks like gameplay, but it's not gameplay. It's not actual gameplay. And yeah. Thank you.
That's what you mean. Like with alien
exactly, like we've seen a few of those, and this is why it's very hard now to decipher which is gameplay, what's not. So with this whole pre-production, I genuinely believe it. I
mean, don't. Yeah, I was gonna say, don't get me wrong. I think it's. I'm used to that Sony quality stuff. Yeah, maybe I thought Obsidian was going to step it up. You know what I'm saying? So it looked real to me because that's what PlayStation games look like, and they claim they're going to step it up. So
yeah, I had to look at that trailer again, and yeah, that's not gameplay.
So what's your opinion on that Nate right now?
I mean, I'm looking at it. I mean, the part where he does the hand signs and stuff, I mean, I don't see that being unrealistic. I mean, that part looks like gameplay to me. The part where they shoot the arrows and stuff clearly, looks like CG. but the part where he's actually holding the sword and does the hand signs.
I don't think it's CG. It might be
An engine,
but
It could be like simulated. It could
definitely
be like
not
simulated
gameplay.
gameplay.
I mean, I don't think it's going to look worse than that. That's my opinion on it. Like, I mean, I don't Obsidian. I mean, that looks on par about with what it looks like when I play The Outer Worlds on PC. So yeah, so I don't think it's
when do you think
far
it's
off.
coming out?
Realistically, holiday 2023.
Stop.
Not a moment sooner.
I say 2024.
I think between 4 and 5. This is not coming 2023. Come on. Absolutely not realistic. Hey, even people are telling you cap. I can see it between 2024 2025.
I don't see it going past 2024, but I just think Obsidian makes games at a different speed than Bethesda with the Elder Scrolls team and all them. They like their games take forever to make. So I think Obsidian is able to churn it out pretty quickly. But like y'all said, I mean, you also said like if it was we don't really know what they're saying. They could say pre-production. And they're like, oh well, all the assets are in place. This structure is in place. I guess like once we really see the state that the game is in, I guess we could really tell from there. But we also don't know the size. So that was one of the things that they did in the way they were able to produce The Outer Worlds in the time they did was the game is nowhere near big as something like a Fallout. So when they designed it that way, they were able to cut a lot of that development time down and still make a decent sized game. So they may pull that off too. That's why I say holiday 2023. That's being really modest, but yeah, if they don't pull it out by then, I don't know what the hell they're going to do in the meantime besides like Redfall, because that and Starfield would be like the only real things coming out from them. So that would be real suspect.
Throw a wrench at that whole conversation. They are also working on the Outer Worlds too.
Yeah, how big is their team?
Yeah, that's crazy. When I saw them announce the Outer Worlds 2, I thought that was crazy. I was like, they must be building a whole nother team or something, and if they're trying to do both of these at once. But I mean, everybody claim, Microsoft got the Infinity Gauntlet when it come to money, so we about to find out.
We'll see. Only time will tell. Okay. Oh no, a blue.
Definitely.
But
oh no, I'm totally not surprised that it is in pre-production. I mean, that's pretty much what's happening with every game Microsoft lately. So yeah, because 2025 will be a kick-ass year for Microsoft. Yeah. Nothing much else to say, I think.
We have a newcomer. Brace, introduce yourself, and what's your opinion on Avowed being in pre-production? Do you believe it or no?
I'm late. Sorry I'm late, but yeah, who knows, man? How big is their team? Do we know?
We know they are working on what's called Avowed and the Outer Worlds too. That's all we know.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was wondering how big the team is.
Let me look up.
Well, it depends on because if the team ain't big, man, I think it probably is in pre-production because they're doing both them games. I mean, they wouldn't have showed Outer Worlds if they weren't working on that now. But I believe it. I mean, it's pretty crazy that they showed that trailer and it's still in pre-production. So,
Mr. we don't want to show games too early, Phil Spencer.
Okay, so number of employee for Obsidian Entertainment is 209. 200. That
ain't enough.
That information is from 2019. Knowing, so let's give them another 100, just for the sake of conversation. Is that enough?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that ain't.
Well, aren't they like they're not an American company, right?
No, they are in California,
Or is
USA.
Obsidian local?
So yeah.
Oh, are they? Well, I was gonna say I don't know. I'm not gonna say
No,
the
no,
pandemic,
pandemic
but
have
I
impacted
don't know.
everyone,
Different
so you
states
can
are.
count that as well.
Yeah, maybe that might have something to do with the pre-production, but if not, man, I don't know. Maybe they're taking their time with it or something. You can't really tell. But like I said, they're probably working on both them damn games at the same time. Who knows? They're, they're probably just trying to push. They're probably going to try to put a whole lot of games out like 2024, 2025, just so they can make a Game Pass. They're going for the Game Pass stuff, so they're going to try to beef that up to make it feel like it's something that you're going to want to get.
Okay.
In my opinion.
I wanna see what Cyril said. The Outer World had a co-developer. It's interesting. Maybe they're gonna ask other people to help them. Maybe they're gonna ask one of Microsoft own studios to help them. Or maybe they're gonna.
I hope it ain't Double Fine.
Yeah, that would genuinely be Double Fine because Double Fine is doing nothing right now. Well, we don't know. They could be working on another game as we speak, but still.
Yeah, it's not going to be Bethesda because I know they're not seeing eye to eye. I heard they weren't really on good terms, even though Microsoft brought them afterwards.
Oh, Obsidian and Bethesda? Yeah, they ain't.
Yeah.
Like everybody was like, yeah, we can see a collaboration and stuff. I was like, y'all must not have remembered how that last game went.
New Vegas
like,
too.
Yeah, my man literally said, we will never. I quote, we will never let another studio do a Fallout game again.
Okay.
That ain't happening.
Screw feeds on YouTube and Twitter. This is feed between two companies fighting over a game. Who's gonna win, Bethesda or Outer Worlds?
Well, let's be real. I'm gonna keep it real. Obsidian is the Me Too of Bethesda. So they was already like, oh, well, you trying to be me? You could do it on your own and make your own games, and that's basically what the Outer Worlds is. Basically, Obsidian's response to that. It's the Me Too Fallout. Like I could do it too, So it was kind of funny that they kind of have a rivalry at the same time, but they got bought by the same company, so it'll be funny to see how that works
Rashid, out. I see you, but we're gonna go back to the ladies, and then we're gonna go to you. Morgan, what's your opinion?
When I first saw the tweet or whatever the announcement that it was in pre-production, I mean, it really didn't surprise me. That's usually the case with a lot of Xbox games, like pre-production. And I think what a lot of people tend to forget is the reason that Xbox felt the need, with the announcement of the Series X to show all of those games, games years out, was because, they're so far behind, when it comes to game production and brand loyalty and mind share. So they had no choice but to, show all their, hey, we know we fucked up with excuse my language. We know we messed up with Xbox One. Look, this is the game plan for this new console. We're coming with the games this gen. Don't worry. Here's Avowed, have Perfect Dark. We're gonna have Fable. They just went on. State of Decay 3, everything. So that's why they went ahead and listed out all their games that are coming down the pipeline. So when I saw it was in pre-production, Avowed, it really didn't take me too much of a surprise. I was like, yeah. I figured that was a CGI trailer. I mean, it looks good. I'm pretty sure the game's probably gonna look like that. Like Nate said, Obsidian's very good at what they do, so I'm sure the quality's gonna be there. But the fact that they're working on 2 games. They said they have what, 100
Yeah, so
or
they have
200 employees or something like that.
but
Yeah,
that
209.
information is from 2019. So I gave
Yeah.
them 100 extra for the sake
So-
of the argument.
Okay. So like Insomniac has around almost 300. Okay, and their production quality, they're able to pump out back-to-back games. So you have to have a lot of employees to be able to do that. And these are two full big games. So yeah, I definitely see this as at the earliest, like late 2023, but I would put it more 2024, 2025 maybe. But yeah, like like Blue said, like it looks like Microsoft's gonna have a good 2024 and
Hey,
beyond.
by the time Microsoft gonna have that, PlayStation will be okay. We're gonna move on. Kay, what's your opinion?
When I watched it, it looked like it was all CGI to me. The one part where Nate was saying it looked kind of like gameplay, like that could have been just CGI simulated gameplay. Now, for it being in pre-production, I don't think necessarily it being in pre-production is the problem. I think the problem is showing games too early. I mean, they showed Everwild, and then they came out and said, we don't even know what this game is or what the gameplay is going to be like. And that's the problem.
Everwild.
That game is pre-concept.
Everwild is in a limbo. Like last time we had, a few people left, and the game got rebooted. Like they have absolutely, like you literally hear it on the video. He said, "We have no idea what the gameplay is going to be about. We're still working on and experimenting." Like,
Can we call it a reboot if they ain't even boot to begin with?
Like they're just like, here's our idea of what we want something to look like.
That
Maybe
game, it's not gonna look anything like something. It's gonna be a completely different game. We're like, what the hell is it? Oh, this is Everwild. Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's cool because we could put it on the list. That list that comes out where it shows all the Xbox games.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
We got Everwild coming out.
30
All right,
games,
cool. Tell me
guys.
all about it.
Right. And I don't trust CGI trailers, so I'm not going to say whether Avowed is going to look like what they showed us, because I wait until they show like actual gameplay and a good amount of it before I say, okay, yeah, that looks good, and that's probably what it's going to look like. I think we're probably looking at like 2024, in my opinion.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
Man, the next time you see that game, it's gonna look like Wasteland and shit from way different from what we saw.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be a
Not
strategy
Wasteland,
game and
though.
shit. They're gonna be like, fuck it, strategy game, let's do
Hey,
it.
I want to give a shout out to Logical Nonsense with the best comment I've seen so far. But I'm gonna fix it for him. He said they need to remaster Halo Infinite. No, dude. They need to remake Halo Infinite. Get your shit right.
Damn, not a remake though.
We'll get it in 2020.
2020,
We'll get it in
35,
20,
something
30.
like that, yeah.
There you go.
Rashid,
Yeah.
are you here? Go ahead, introduce yourself,
Yes, I'm
and
here.
what's
Can you
your
hear me?
opinion on this topic?
I'm Rashid. Yeah, some of you know me from Twitter. And my topic is that my thoughts of it is that Microsoft or Xbox or they needed to show something, because I feel like they were kind of getting left behind in the gaming conversation, and I feel like all they're doing is kind of catering to fans of Xbox, but I don't feel like they have brought in any new people, especially when there's Sony and Nintendo. So I feel like they had to do to do something out there for someone to grab on. And I think the whole ZeniMax thing, that was good. That was good because they needed something. They had nothing. You know what I mean? And remember when they bought Ninja Theory and those other people? But what was that game? Bleeding Edge came out, and that wasn't anything. There was another game that came out. What was the one with the little kids? Like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh, Grounded.
Oh yeah, ground.
Ground.
Yeah.
See, you don't remember that.
The fact that you said, "Oh yeah, grounded."
See, so Bleeding Edge and Ground, that came and went. That was just a memory. It's just like it's gone. So they needed something. And they'll have something in a few years, hopefully. But I just worry in that time, what are they gonna do? Because if Halo Infinite's not really great, which I think it's gonna be hard to compete with, Call of Duty and Battlefield and all those things. They're just gonna keep, they're gonna have the same their same fan base and not really grow. So that's it.
Okay. Since you guys came in a little bit late, and we still got time. Race and Rashid, what's your opinion on Nintendo is Nintendoing? Well, Rashid, you go ahead.
Did you say what's
Yeah.
my opinion on Nintendoing? They're gonna any company is gonna keep doing what makes money for them, and Nintendo has that nostalgia factor and everything else. So they're just gonna do what they do, and I think that's that's just what it is. That's just what it is, and that's what they're gonna do. And I think it'll always be like that because they bring in like new generations of people where kids now will love Nintendo, and then their kids will love it. So it's just what it is. They'll recycle what they need and still make games, and there's nothing. Well, I'm not fond of it, but they're just gonna do that.
Do you have any fear that PlayStation and Xbox gonna follow through with what Nintendo is doing right now? No. Okay, so it seems you're not aware what's happening. Nintendo introduced another subscription service, and they're having a digital console locked behind that subscription service, and they're offering.
Oh no! What I'm saying is, if Nintendo if it's successful for them, I think they'll just look at all these corporations will look at what's making money and try to go that route. So I'm always fearful of that, and it bothers me because us gamers are not really like a cohesive unit to which will stand up for many things. You know what I mean? So those things always worry me. Just where people say, "Hey, this is fine," and corporations will always take as much as they can. You know what I mean? But if they could, they'll let us pay $1,000 for playing an hour a game. So it's up to us to kind of say, "Hey, you're not doing this." But I don't know if that really happen. So yeah, it's always my fear of things like that.
So clearly, said something with the Nintendo thing. Do keep in mind that the increased price is completely above margin for them. The addition to that service costs them nothing. It doesn't even need to be successful, really.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I mean, let's be real. It's not like they're breaking the bank or developing anything.
Oh, even if only 1% of their fans get it, they won.
Yeah, and shout out to Cyril in the chat. That's the homie that gives me my my online Nintendo Christmas present every year.
Okay. Yeah, this is going to be rough because I genuinely can see now PlayStation putting PlayStation 3 behind paywall, PlayStation 2 behind paywall, PlayStation 1 behind paywall, and add games to that service. I genuinely can see them doing that right now. That would genuinely not surprise me. Because monkey see, monkey do.
I think PlayStation's honestly got a lot of things in the pipeline right now, so I think it'll be years before any of that takes effect. But yeah, I definitely don't want them to see it gain any ground because, like you said, I mean, when companies see that, just like microtransactions, we had to fight that to the wall, and we still got some of them, and some of them are still fairly egregious, but you've seen a big downturn in them because we just weren't having that shit.
What's your opinion on Nintendoing?
Honestly, I really don't care. I don't even fucking play Nintendo. I haven't played Nintendo 64. So like, I'm like, yeah, whatever. I mean, if the fans are gonna enjoy it, then I guess. But even though I think I don't know. I think they're bogus for it. But who am I to say anything? I don't play their
Interesting.
system anymore.
So you don't care. And if Microsoft and PlayStation follow through and copy their service, would you be okay with that?
Oh no, then I'm gonna
That's
speak
why
up.
we're
Hopefully
speaking
everybody will
up
speak
right
up.
now.
But
Because we don't want other companies to follow through with this.
But at the same time, Sony, it's got PS Now and they got Game Pass, so I don't know how they will throw another subscription service out there unless they just throw it into what they have.
PlayStation Plus with PlayStation Now. That's one thing.
Yeah, I hope they never do that, for the record.
Exactly.
I've heard people bring up that idea. That is
Exactly.
not a good
But
idea
I'm just
at
showing
all.
Rafe what they can do. They can add a subscription service for not Netflix, Crunchyroll, and mix that up with PlayStation Plus or PlayStation Now. Yeah, they can do
They could do that. Have different tiers.
A lot of things. So
because subscriptions is how they're making money now with everything. Where I live, there's a fucking barber that has a subscription. You pay like monthly. You pay monthly, and then so they want you doing that. So everyone's trying to get money like that. So I could see them doing what you're saying like that. Oh, more like, hey, you pay extra $10, you get Crunchyroll. You pay extra 50, you get Crunchyroll, and you get fucking whatever.
I was gonna say the only reason I could see them doing that is if it was separated. So all of them still remain separate and remain their individual prices. But if you did something where someone who wanted all those services could get them at a lower rate by having them in that one bundle, the way that like ESPN plus Disney plus Hulu, like that combo. Yeah, like that's way cheaper than having all of those services separate. So I could see it that way, but completely just, usurping the current subscription model. Yeah, I might come after the building on that one.
I'm gonna move on to the next topic, which is going to be very interesting. I'm pretty sure most of you guys are living in the USA right now. We got Nate from USA, we got Kay, Morgan, Rashid, and I think Ray, you're also from the USA? Oh.
Who, me?
You're
no,
from the UK?
I'm not from the USA.
Oh, you're from the USA?
No, I'm from the USA.
Okay. So, except me and Blue. This is going to be a real topic. And what I mean by real is all fun, all jokes. We're gonna put them aside. This week we've seen one person pulling out a gun on YouTube and threatening people, all for the sake of console war. We've seen it with other people doing it, pulling out guns in mid of conversation just because people are shitting on the preferred platform. We've also, this is not a Xbox issue, eh? This is not only Xbox. We had an PlayStation dude threaten to blow up Horizon Guerrilla Games headquarters because of them putting Horizon Zero Dawn on PC. I don't know if you guys remember that or not.
Oh no, what's that?
We're not speak of his name.
Yeah, I don't even know who it is, so we're gonna keep it that way.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
I know who it was,
we're
but
not gonna
I'd rather
name
not
names.
talk about him.
I'm just letting people understand this is not PlayStation, Xbox only issue, so they understand. My thing is, what would happen if a gamer actually went ahead and did some fucked up shit? Would we be seeing senators and stuff like that lobbying for ban on video games or censorship on video games or something like that.
Yeah, well, they blame school shootings and shit on video
Yeah,
games,
but
and especially Grand Theft Auto. This thing, Grand Theft Auto, is the reason why most of shit is what's going on from the kids. So of course they're gonna allow me on trying to get rid of video games.
It's just a school shooter doing school shooter thing. Like I'm talking specifically if a gamer, and I'm genuinely mean like gamers, like people like us, went into a game event and.
Well, that happened. That happened a couple of years ago, right? Or 3 years ago at a Madden tournament when a guy got pissed off at somebody who beat him. He went and killed him.
He did. Yeah.
No, what?
Yeah, somebody got shot at the Madden tournament. I remember that. I forgot about that until you brought it up. But yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Some moron.
My question is, are we that close for senators to start demanding for a ban on video games? Because I know they have tried to blame video games for everything under the sun. Like, I follow U.S. politics. But my thing, and this scared me for one simple reason. USA, and this, I'm not going into politics, but I'm just explaining it. USA genuinely allows bribery. They call it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's how
politics work.
Contribution or something like that. To the your
constituents,
exactly.
lobbyists. They got a bunch of names.
For the people that don't live in the USA, let me explain what does that mean. Let's say you are an owner of a chocolate company. You produce chocolate, and you want to make your price higher. But what you do, you buy off a politician, you pay them a lot of money, and they will go on a campaign for you and say, okay, we have decided to lower the price for the chocolate beans or something like that, and so then you can buy them for cheap and sell them for a higher price. That's just a very basic example. They genuinely have the power to do so. This is why you will never see again any real gun legislation, because they all make money on that. They really do. So then my question is, if this starts happening with the gaming industry and we started seeing briberies and stuff like that, like, we could go into a scary situation, and I don't want that, because Germany is already dealing with censorship. They censor red blood, they make it black or green or whatsoever, and you have Japan censor sometimes they censor a lot of gore and stuff like that. So, and the problem is, when USA does something, the world listen, and the world look and watch, and they act as well. So, and yeah, this, for the first time, I'm genuinely afraid of something happening, because I have never seen people act like this over a freaking console war. Like, console war for me is fun, but only when it's honest and logical and based on reality, and not the stuff that you see. I want to blow up headquarters, or I'm gonna threat you because you shit on my preferred console. Go ahead, Innate. What's your opinion on this one?
So yeah, I don't think it's as scary or crazy as you were fearing. Crazy people do crazy shit all the time. So that's not anything new. And hood people do hood shit all the time. So that's not nothing new. So I mean, I like you said, I know you don't live here, but there are places here where it is factually incredibly dangerous to simply drive down certain streets in certain states. Like, I mean, like you will most likely, like if you felt like getting robbed, you could statistically go down specific streets and you would probably get robbed. Like that's how serious it is. So some of these people that you're seeing that are displaying this type of behavior on camera and stuff, like let's be real, some of these people are from these places. Chicago is famous for some of this stuff. um there are places where statistically when you live there, you are going to pay higher insurance because they basically expect for you to get robbed or for something to get damaged or for your vehicle to get broken into or your home or whatnot. Some places don't even offer insurance in that area because of it. So I don't think it's as crazy because you just see like some, random set of gamers doing it. Like it's no different than all the other crazy people that are out here doing stuff. So I don't think you'll see more legislation or anything like that popping up. Like it's no more than you've already seen. Um, it's just not. It's not. It doesn't really work that way because also I know you were saying like you can lobby to like that specific person, but you have to like lobby to a lot of people, and like it's just it would be unprecedented like as far as like the amount you would need to get that kind of backing. And I mean like somebody would have to walk in like screaming like PlayStation for life or something for them to even like try to blame that on something like that. And it's the prime example of this is that other people have gotten killed over stuff like that. Besides the Madden thing, there was also another incident where these people who called themselves friends in quotes, uh one guy was Nvidia and the other guy was AMD, and I guess like the dude that really liked Nvidia like killed his friend because he was like AMD's better. Like literally that was it. And went to his house and like either shot him or stabbed him or something, but he murdered him. So it's not like this stuff doesn't happen. But I mean, people didn't stop going to school because school shootings and bomb threats. You try to mediate this stuff appropriately as best you can. But yeah, we're not gonna like see like a major scare unless these dudes just start showing up in droves and start making cults. To be honest, the few people that we've seen or the one or two people that do this crazy stuff online, it's just some straight hoodlums. I'm gonna be honest. I grew up around the hood, so one or two people brandishing a gun, talking all that trash. Yes, whatever. The one thing I will say about it though, that it won't come to like legislation or anything like that, is that like I said in public service announcement, it still may get to the point where obviously we don't want to see anybody hurt over this mess. It's not that serious. It really isn't. But some people get online, they get hyped up, they get in these spaces, these Twitter spaces specifically, and they let their mans hype them up and they start feeling some type of way and they start trying to check people who they ain't got no business checking. And it might not get to legislation and all that other stuff, but somebody might treat somebody like an old AT&T slogan and reach out and touch somebody. So they need to definitely be careful. That's all. I mean, that's all I really say is it's just a sign to just be careful. It's not that serious. And if somebody's getting to that point, you can just get out of there and go for it.
Okay, let me
that's
ask
it.
you one thing about this. With everything you said, while I understand you, and I would even agree with you on some point, would you do you think that maybe you're desensitized towards this entire thing because there have been so many mass shooting and stuff like that? Do you think that mass shooting is no longer shocking for you?
No, I wouldn't say that. I'm not desensitized to that or people getting murdered or anything like that. It's not that. I think if anything, well, not for me because like I said, I grew up in the hood. It's different for people depending on how you grew up. So I'm always on point. When I'm in the mall, whether we're at the club, wherever we're at, I just think in general it's help make some people more aware of their surroundings, and to not get that whole deer in the headlights moment when something does happen, because honestly, that's what gets a lot of people killed more than anything. Uh, you know, but yeah, definitely not desensitized. Like, I mean, it's terrible when any of that stuff happens. Um, but yeah, I mean, at the same time, like you said, as far as gun legislation and stuff in that regards, people are still going to have the right to bear arms, and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
that
we're
I'm
gonna
not
do.
going to get into the details of guns because that's a whole
Yeah,
nother.
exactly.
Yeah, that's a
But
whole
that's not
nother
for it.
thing.
But for just an example.
But
Um,
but yeah, yeah. I don't think any one of us I would be considered like desensitized to someone being murdered. Even a single person, not even like a mass shooting. Like someone gets stabbed. Like I don't think a lot of people have even seen anything like that. But I mean, I've personally seen it happen on video, and I'm not desensitized to it at all. And I played mad murders games and all kinds of stuff. Seeing someone actually get murdered
yeah,
is a very, very
I know
different
what you're
factor.
saying because I've seen it as well.
Yeah.
I want to say, I'll ask you one last question and then I'm gonna move on. You made a comment about how people didn't stop going to school, but at the same time, school introduced protection against gun with what's called practices, not practices. When you pretend there's a shooting to teach people how.
You mean they put policies in place
Not
to
not only
kind of
defend but
defend against
prepare
it?
them in case of a mass shooting. Train them. There's something called something in English called for it. I forgot what it's called. When you have the siren goes off and it's not an actual mass shooting. Yes, thank
Oh,
you.
like a drill.
A drill. They introduced drills. They introduced what's called metal detectors. So my question then is to you: are there stuff like this that companies can introduce or force on game companies to in video games? Like, for example, upping the age from 18 to 21, or forbidding. Like, I can't think of any, but I'm curious if you can think of any.
I mean, personally, I don't really think so. Only because, I mean, when it comes to like the individual in their home, I mean, so this stuff is already at the appropriate age, and I mean, I can tell you factually, like probably 20 people I can think of right now who have children that are not 17 that they bought Grand Theft Auto. So, like, ultimately, I mean, it's already that's technically, you know, illegal, but no one's going to stop you. Like, you can make the choice to do that the same way you can make the choice to take your child into a rated R movie. So yeah, I don't think they're going to put anything more restrictive than that, mainly just because like the US responds very badly to increased restrictions, especially unnecessary ones. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
because GameStop, man, they make you card. They card, kids if they're not their age for like violent games and shit. So
yeah.
parents will go in there and have no idea why they're getting carded for it. They just buy it for them.
And half the time, reality, parents don't care. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the truth because
As
I
long
went
as
to
it's
go.
keeping the kid occupied, it don't matter.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Like they don't know. Like half the time, they've never even seen the game. I know somebody said that their mom or something bought their younger brother Saints Row, and like she seen like the dildo bat later or something, and was like, "Oh hell no," and like took the shit out. But I was like, "That's literally like in a warning." And like the bat is on the I'm pretty sure there's instances where the bat was in promotional material and on the back of the box.
Shout out to Gaming Despair here.
So
yeah, that's something they should be aware of. They need to read and know what they are into, getting themselves into.
But I'm gonna tell you the truth. I mean, America is the place where someone spilled coffee on themselves
Yeah.
and then sued because it was hot. and
Yep.
won. So
Oh,
yeah.
that's a misunderstanding, you know, because the actual case is very different. That woman actually didn't won. She had like third-degree burns because the coffee
Oh
was
yeah,
like 100
no.
degrees Celsius.
Yeah,
That's
go ahead,
probably more
explain it.
Fahrenheit.
I know what you're talking about, and the
Yeah, no, the problem with that case is this is how they try to discourage people from suing, is because they're putting people down as basically trying to sue for bullshit reasons and making them look like opportunists, and that's done by lawyers of these corporations. That woman actually didn't get millions. She got barely her medical expenses paid. So it's a very different
yeah.
story if you actually look into it. So and I know
Well,
that's not the topic of this conversation, but I just remember that story, and I remember when I looked into it that it actually was very different
Yeah,
from what
exactly.
people thought it was.
If I remember correctly,
well, yeah, I wasn't saying that she got millions, by the way. What I was saying though is that even though I know she got burned, like she actually did, what I was saying is like that was the reason that now on all the coffee that you see, it warns
It's
you.
hot.
no,
Yeah, it warns you that
no,
it's hot.
no,
So
no,
even
no,
if
no.
that
Let me
happened in the
No,
explain.
future,
no, no. Actually,
Yeah,
they
yeah. So
lowered the
I'm
temperature
gonna
now
explain it
because they realized that.
how it was.
I was going to say that that coffee was too hot. It gave her
Yeah,
3rd-degree
exactly.
burns and
So
3rd-degree burns.
let's say the
So
coffee was
had
supposed
her
to be
tissue.
100 degree normally, but the coffee that they sold her was 150 degree. An example. I don't know the exact number, but so when it's
it
yeah,
was
exactly.
180 to
So it was
190
way,
degrees.
way, way too hot to be even served.
Can't figure out how they
And
got it that hot.
when it burned her
Jesus.
pretty bad, to the point which she needed to be on medication and stuff like that. So it's genuinely understandable for her to sue.
She needed to get skin grafts. She needed to get skin grafts because it. I'm not going to talk like the epidermis and all those things, but it's
Yeah.
the worst, one of the worst burns you can get.
Yeah.
When you need grafts. So yeah, and that's what happened to her.
But for future reference, if you burn yourself with coffee, you're
Just
on
don't
your
put
own.
it yourself with coffee.
Yeah.
Blue, what's your opinion on this one?
Well, you mentioned like you worried that a corporation will lobby for this, but the question is who will lobby for this? Because I don't think any company, unless you would argue the movie industry or the music industry or broadcasting, would consider gaming as a competitor. Um, I actually would see these companies, gaming companies, are huge. Like Microsoft is huge. So if anyone would lobby, it would be them. So I don't really see that as a concern that they would somehow ban games. I don't think they could legally do that anyway. You can't ban a form of media just because you feel some unsubstantiated link is present between violence and games, which has never been proven. Even far from it, seems to be the opposite. That it actually calms people down. So I'm not worried. We've seen this every single time there's a shooting or whatever that they try to blame video games and it never fucking works. So I'm not particularly worried about this. And I mean, I've seen this before. I've seen people on Twitter threatening each other over video games with guns. So uh, it's fucking stupid. But I'm not worried that this will somehow open the floodgates for legislation or censorship or whatever.
It genuinely seems that I'm the only one that is overblowing this situation. But let's see. Kay, what's your opinion?
I completely agree with Blue. Um, like the only thing that they might be able to do is try and use censorship or say that video games can't have this and this type of content in it, or there's a limit at how much that they can put into a game. But I don't see them just flat out banning, violent video games. What these people did was just completely childish, and it's very dangerous because you don't know what their mindset is and whether they're actually going to follow through on a threat, and it's not acceptable.
I wholeheartedly agree with everything you said. Morgan.
Yeah, I agree with Blue and Nate. I think I don't think there's going to be like a ban or anything like that. Because one, this is America. They're not about to. As soon as you try to take somebody's rights away, like it becomes a whole thing. Like, yeah, it wouldn't go as far as anything like that. I do agree with Kay though. Like, maybe they would try to censorship some things, but I feel like that would probably get wrote up. It might get to a court system, but I highly doubt that will pass. I mean, they tried it back in the 90s when the whole epidemic of violent video games, oh my God, it leads to, when they're trying to blame violent video games on violent behavior, and they try to make a big deal about that, and it led to like absolutely nothing because, they couldn't make a correlation between the two. But it's like, I don't think it's so much as there are more people who are taking the console war too far, or with the violence and showing guns and things. I just think that those people now have a platform because of social media and the fact that it's accessible to everyone. Now they're able to just go on their phone and do these things, without any cost to them, and so this just gives them more of a voice. But yeah, they've always been out there. Like, I've run into a handful of crazy people. They're out here. They're prevalent. It's just now in 2021 when everybody has a phone and everybody has, access to social media. They're just able to voice their opinions now and, show how crazy they really are. But yeah, I don't think it'll actually go anywhere.
Okay. And finally, Ray, I'm pretty sure it's gonna agree with all of you.
Well, to me, if they're gonna, let's say they try to do that, they're gonna have to go after like movies as well or television, because American television has changed from since we were younger. I mean, they had like more violence on TV shows and profanity pretty much on TV shows as well than they never did back in the day. They're gonna have to quit a lot of things: gambling, fucking alcohol, and cigarettes. That shit kills you too, and you don't see them trying to stop that.
Yeah, we saw how well the prohibition worked.
Yeah, I mean, look, I live right down a block from a gambling boat, right? And like 3 people jumped off the highway because they lost all their money from the gambling.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that's a big thing. They're not going to be able to stop it, man. I don't know. I don't think nothing like that's going to happen. It's just, I don't know. If they are gonna try to do something, they're gonna have to stop a lot of things. Because I'm pretty sure people are not gonna let that slide. In my opinion.
Okay. Guess I was in the minority with this one.
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
We live here, so we know how long it takes, and how slow all politics are, and how much. It's crazy the amount of stuff that's got to get moving for something to show up that isn't like immediately against their pockets. Yeah, right. That gets moved real fast.
yeah. If they're making a buck, they're not gonna push it.
We're gonna move on to the next topic. I don't have it on title, so I'm gonna just say it. The brand baited Sony to sue them. So what did Sony do? They sued them. And now they're putting back their plate that they created. I'm gonna go to Morgan because I know Morgan have a D brand, right?
Yeah, dude. All I can say is I'm glad because I knew it was gonna happen. Let me get this now, because them, basically, you know, showing their butt to Sony and was like, "Yeah, sue us. We don't care." Like I knew it was coming. Like you can't just taunt a company like that and expect them not to do something. So I was just like, you know what? Let me secure it now, because it's only a matter of time before Sony comes through with the paperwork and shuts it down. But yeah, so I got it. It's all like it's nice. I'm kind of sad that I was kind of hoping that they would shut it down with the introduction of their own version plates.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't know if that's coming, or I hope that's coming. I hope it's not in the form of you have to buy a whole nother PS5 if you want a different color. I was kind of hoping they like bundle the plates with controllers. It's like a black controller with a black
a plate for €25 or €15 a pop, and you're golden.
Yeah, you can do that too. But it's just like, yeah, I don't know what's going on with Sony. Maybe they're trying to get the main PS5s out there first. I guess
why they are not capitalizing on this.
Yeah,
it's like capitalizing on that.
Yeah, because Series X, they released the Halo version of their
mind-boggling. Like, excuse me, PlayStation, don't you have anyone that thinks that hey, maybe it's a fantastic idea to remove this plate, put a God of War or Last of Us Horizon Zero Dawn plate, and call it a day?
Miles Morales like something.
Excuse me, PlayStation, do I need to teach you how to make money? Like, I don't understand why. Can anyone explain to me why they are not capitalizing on this? Screw that whole suing thing. Like that, we already knew it was coming. I'm more focused on why is PlayStation not creating their own version of it?
I think they will once they start putting out more systems to other people. I think that's when they'll start doing
it. They can even put it limited edition, and people can buy them or not buy them.
Yep, that's what
I mean. They came out with 2 new color scheme controllers. Why not plates now?
Yeah, match them. Get a black one and a midnight one.
Right.
What's his name? It's from. Oh, sorry, I didn't pay attention that you were speaking at it. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying I don't know why either, because it seems like it's easy money. Because everyone would buy a couple to customize it. You could buy a red one, match your red controller, the black one. So
I mean, there is a huge there is a demand for these plates, a pretty big one.
I am seeing right now in front of my eyes, Bloodborne and DBZ, what's called a plate and a controller, and this is who tweeted it? I think Innate put it.
Yeah, they're skins, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if they were selling these as plates, plenty of people would have got them. A lot of people don't like to put skins on their console, but if they could get the actual plate, they would buy it. Like you said, $15 to $20.
And very easy to place. So I don't understand what's going on with PlayStation. Wow, that Itachi. Yo, Itachi looks sick. Okay. So for the people, so is there a way that you can put it on YouTube so people can see it as well? I need to learn how to showcase something. Oh wait, maybe I can do. Give me a second. Let me first.
Yeah, I seen those on Amazon. Those are pretty dope.
Exactly, man. Like,
wait, where'd you post it?
It's in general chat in our Discord.
Can I download this? Yes or no? Yeah.
You mean the picture?
How do I download it? All I can do is copy it. No, I want to download the damn.
You have to say click on the original and then save it. Or if you click on it and click on open original, it'll show in your web browser.
Click on it and open original. Yeah, I see. Sorry guys, but I want you guys to see
and then it opens in your web browser.
I want to show you what PlayStation is missing out on, and then save image as.
The Demon Slayer game just came out. You could have had something like this with the OG character and the lightning dude. Like, look at that.
Oh man.
Man, and I'm sure that won't cost much, man, because they're like $30 on Amazon for them stickers.
22.
Yeah.
22.
I want you to understand just how cool this thing is. Picture.
Somebody out here capitalizing already. PlayStation's slipping.
Should genuinely create.
Oh man. Deep Brand say this ain't the last thing you heard of them. They said they gonna be back.
Yeah, they about to figure something out.
They trying to figure out something.
How can they not have figured this out already though?
I mean,
that's what I'm trying to understand. How can they not?
I mean, you're broadcasting your desktop. You can go ahead and just go look at minimize the window and go look on your Discord.
Here,
and
I'm
show
doing
the
it
picture
right
in
now.
the chat.
Sorry, I went back to the music. Sorry about that. I realized that very fast. Let me see here. Oh my god, this is really gorgeous, dude. So, in case you guys can see.
It's just black right now.
There you go.
There it goes. We see it now.
Like, who would want?
I brought a Last of Us. I brought a Last of Us one. I never got it.
How did you buy it and not get it?
That's crazy.
I forgot what site I went to and fucking brought it. And
was it Etsy or something?
Look how amazing this is. If you're not a fan of anime, you do you. But if you're a fan of anime, like this doesn't look like Itachi though. He look a little bit like Itachi teammate. What's his name? The one with the shark.
PlayStation is the king of JRPGs. They should capitalize.
Imagine Horizon Zero Dawn one, Horizon Forbidden West one, Last of Us, God of when I first heard and seen the PlayStation, I was like, yeah, PlayStation is gonna make billions upon billions from just selling plates. But apparently, PlayStation is not thinking about that. Like, how hard is it? Someone explain. Yeah, go ahead.
They might. No, they might not, because it makes me think about the Vita, where they placed like the R2 and the L2. It's kind of pop it on the top, but they made it like that weird back touchscreen thing. So there's certain times where they drop the ball, and I feel like after this Christmas, if we don't see, I get why they won't do certain plates because of licensing and all that stuff, but just the plain color ones, I feel like if we don't see it by this holiday, someone just doesn't understand that they could have easily made a ton of money just, making different color plates.
I'm gonna show you.
Sony. Oh yeah,
I'm gonna show you what's his name bought.
The Last of Us.
I wanna understand something. I genuinely do. And with this one, we're gonna go. For the people that's watching, I'm sorry, guys. I'm a noob with this one, so give me a few time to learn how to do it very fast. I'm not like J-Body or Persona. They are pro at it. There you go. There you go. And we're gonna mute this one. And this one. If you can see, you can actually see this one what you bought, right? Urace? Rice,
Damn, I
did
was
you
looking
buy
at that
it?
too.
Did you buy
I wanted
this?
to buy it for myself.
Yeah. Yeah, The Last of Us.
How
Yeah, I
come
brought that
you
one and
never
I never
got
got
it?
it.
Can you explain that to us?
Not sure. I tried to reach out to them and never heard nothing
And
back.
you
I
lost
think I
how
got
much
ripped
money?
off, to be honest.
How long ago did you buy it?
Oh,
They was like $20.
shame.
How long ago?
You know what's crazy? Because someone posted online, like this dude, he brought them from there. And I was like, oh wow, where'd you get that from and shit? And he posted the site, and I went on there and I brought it and never got it.
Shame. And again, this is money PlayStation is missing out on. My bad, people, for that intro starting all over again. The final topic. Oh no, wait. We had. Oh, Rashid, do you want to say anything about that? Yeah.
What about the plates? Oh no, I already expressed it. Like I said, they just need to make different color plates because that I think the PlayStation 5 is ugly with that white color anyways. So they didn't make different color ones. But like I said, by Christmas, if I don't see any, I just don't think they're gonna make them.
Yeah, I got blue plates
That'd
for
be
my
great for the holidays.
PlayStation.
Well,
The only thing I don't like about the place though, man, it don't got that PlayStation symbol in it. And I'm like,
yeah, I've seen a few that one created one PlayStation with almost like stickers, not stickers, but more like he didn't glue it, he just placed it, and it looked amazing. The quality is amazing, but it's a bit on the pricier side, like $45. But it genuinely looked fantastic. We had two topics. We had the Japanese Xbox in Japan, but I'm not an expert on that. We were supposed to have Akira, but Akira couldn't make it, so we're gonna skip that topic. The other topic, this is just an conversation. I'm curious about you guys because I absolutely have no idea with this one. When did PlayStation start to become that big? Like, what I mean by that is, right now, PlayStation is known for their blockbusters. When did they start to create blockbusters? I'm gonna go with Innate at first. He is always good at explaining things. Any information about this? Hello? Heir to Innate?
Guess not.
Let me see, maybe he told me he's gonna go or something. Okay, so Innate is a little bit busy. I'm gonna go with Race.
Blockbusters, I don't know, to me, man, Blockbusters started on PS1. That started with Metal Gear for me. If you ask me, then when
I'm
PS2
talking
came
more
out,
about third party, not. I'm genuinely speaking about third party titles. Yeah.
Yo, you mean like first party? PS2 then? God of War? For me?
Could be.
Yeah, no, you don't think so?
Toward PS3. That's when they genuinely started to pumping out amazing quality games. Like PS2 God of War. You can make a conversation for that, but I think they genuinely started with PlayStation 3, with the God of War, with The Last of Us, with stuff like that.
Oh, jeez, I thought we
God
thought God of War was quality.
God of War 1 is amazing, but just one game. I'm talking about when they genuinely started to be known for quality.
Well, there were two games.
First,
yeah, there was two
God
games.
of War and what?
God God of War had 2 games on PS2.
Yeah, no, that's just one franchise. I'm genuinely talking. Yeah,
Or
yeah.
you mean all in whole?
PS3,
Yeah,
yeah,
all in whole,
PS3.
yeah, PS3,
Blue.
PS3, yeah.
Well, yeah, if you put it that way, PS3, Uncharted, Last of Us. That's when Sony started becoming the quadruple A studio. Because I'm just going to call Naughty Dog quadruple A, just based on the quality, as we know them today. So yeah, definitely. I suppose later half of the PS3 generation, because the first half they kind of messed it up, and then they came back and reinvented themselves, I guess, and now they're the standard. I mean, there is no other console manufacturer, maybe even other studio that can match them in that level of quality. And not to say that there are other developers can make great games. It's just, if you're talking about the blockbuster experience, the cinematic experience, there is no other group of studios or publisher
I
that can
agree.
match them.
Nate, are you here?
Mm-hmm.
He is not here. Morgan, go ahead.
Yeah, for me, it definitely started towards the end of PS3. The beginning it was a little, they fumbled a little bit, but they got their footing back with Uncharted and The Last of Us and The Last Guardian and not The Last Guardian, but Colossus. But then the PS4 generation started. It started off a little slow, with the knacks and all that stuff. But, around 2015, with the release of Bloodborne, like after that, PlayStation just went into like the stratosphere when it comes to high quality games. It just went back to back to back. It was Bloodborne, then it was like Horizon, Days Gone, Infamous, Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Horizon, like I said, Days Gone, God of War, Spider-Man. I mean, it was just like crazy amount. People were just like, oh my, like at that point, I think it was like maybe 2018, 2019. People would like those years. People just expected as soon as they saw a PlayStation game, like, okay, this is going to be a high quality, high polished AAA experience. Like at that point, there was never any doubt that they were gonna. If you saw a game and it had the PlayStation Studios logo pop up, you were like, all right, yeah, this is it. This is about to be an experience. And people were just like, I think that was the point when quality and PlayStation just, those words just became synonymous. And PlayStation just took their place as like the king of gaming experiences at that point. But yeah.
Innate. No innate. I'm gonna keep trying because Morgan. Oh no. Shit. Okay.
Yeah, I would say PS3. Like everyone else was saying, The Last of Us, and I would especially say the Uncharted franchise really started making things to where we wanted and we're starting to expect more and more from PlayStation first party. I would say Naughty Dog definitely started the way to these bigger blockbuster games. And then you have like God of War 2018, like they definitely switched from just like hack and slash to a more cinematic and just more of a blockbuster game. And then you came out with like Horizon Zero Dawn, and then like Morgan was saying, then you had Bloodborne, then The Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima. Like it's just, it almost feels sudden, but at the same time, like they've been slowly creeping that way to these bigger titles, to where now we demand for these high quality games, and now we're starting to look towards other publishers to say, hey, you guys need to pump it up
if
too.
If your game, a next gen game, can't match, is not topping The Last of Us 2, I'm sorry, then you have issues. Yeah, no, it's it's like I listen to you guys speak. Well, I'm gonna go last. So, Rashid, go ahead.
So for me, it's around the PlayStation 3. But I feel like with society, it's more the PlayStation 4, where the game is kind of for non gamers. They could look at these games and feel like they're movies. So like the Spider Man's, God of War, Ghost of Tsushima. And I feel like that's when Sony got real big, where it was outside of gaming and people who didn't even game. Like it made them at gaming. You know what I mean? Because for them,
Yep.
oh shit, this looks like like a old Japanese film I watch, or this looks like Spider Man from whatever Marvel movies they watch. So
Okay.
that's what I feel about that.
For me, Innate, you here? No, Innate. Okay. I will always try.
Keeps
No
trying.
problem. Here's the thing. I will never forget when I was on. So, a little story about what happened. We had a small shop in the place where I live in, and this small shop was only dedicated to video games. And every single day, almost, I would go there after school or stuff like that. I would go and I would watch him play some game, and I would look at games and see what I wanna buy and stuff like that. And I was a regular customer, you can say. He would discount and stuff like that. He was genuinely a cool person, and I will never forget this moment. He was showing a person a game, and it had a person trying to climb up, and he was bleeding, and the emotion on his face, and the gameplay, and the dude that was showing it, he couldn't keep his excitement. He is like, this is next gen for me. This is something I have never seen before. And the game he was talking about was Uncharted 2. In my opinion, Uncharted 2 started PlayStation blockbusters. Not Uncharted 1, when you look at it, it was okay received. They called it Tomb Raider clone, if you guys remember. But when Uncharted 2 hit, it was over. From there, we seen it. We seen Naughty Dog stop themselves. With Uncharted 3, they introduced that sand mechanic. With Uncharted 4, they introduced that open world-ish in the sea mechanic. With Last of Us, they utterly crushed it. And Last of Us 2, well, you know about that, how amazing that game is. And I think from that standpoint, other PlayStation companies starting to pay attention. Then we had Santa Monica going from God of War Ascension, which, let's be fair, one of the worst God of War, you can say. That was genuinely horrible. Okay, I'm gonna boot you from the podcast now. We went from that to a game to them. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard Santa Monica was on the shopping block. I remember.
Yeah. This was kind of make
I
or break for them
heard
before they had
Santa
to
Monica
put God
was
of War
genuinely on the shopping block.
I heard they already were chopped, but they came back or something like that. Or they just rebranded themselves.
Yeah, they
were making some kind of sci-fi game. Hey, I'm pretty sure Craig would be. 1 second. Okay, so Innate can't make it anymore. He got some family business to take care of. So shout out to Innate for joining. At any case, what's called? They were making a sci-fi game. I'm pretty sure. Craig, go ahead. Ask your question. So I'm pretty sure Craig will be excited with that sci-fi game. No, Craig, it was not Mass Effect, so don't worry about it. Yeah. So,
I was wondering what you were doing.
after that, they were in a limbo, and then Cory Barlog came back, and he pitched the God of War.
Yeah.
And at first, people were not so per se on board, cause that's something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But, what happened? PlayStation stood behind them. That is the key point. That is the key to evolution. PlayStation was like, you wanna create something new? Something I've never done before? Let's fucking go. We're gonna support you. We're gonna do everything in our power to help you get through it. We're gonna provide money. We're gonna provide place to work for. We're gonna provide personnel if you need it. And you need some. And yeah, and the end result is God of War 2018. And if you watch Rising of Kratos documentary, this is such a perfect documentary because it showcases you game development is not easy. Like up until 4 months or 6 months from the release, they were still struggling to have the game run well while having Arceus helping Kratos. They still couldn't find out to make it work. And then all of a sudden it worked. You can literally hear it. Shuei Yoshida visited them during that moment and he played it and he said, yeah,
like,
no,
this ain't it.
you're gonna you must find a way to make it work. And even before, when they started the development, he went in and he saw what they were doing and he said, no, this is not good, scrap it and move and start all over again.
Yep.
That's what a leader should do. That's what a leader should do. I am not trying to make this of a console war situation, but leadership, key point, leadership is important. If you're not leading, how are you gonna provide quality? Like, that's to me the key important to this. And after God of War, yeah, we've seen it. We've seen it with Infamous. Infamous 1, amazing game. Second, Infamous 2, top the first game. Second Son, I love it. People hate it, some people hate it. Hey, you do you. In my opinion, is undercooked. It needed more time in the oven. It needed a lot more powers. They teased us with glass and origami powers that should have been in the game, no question asked. Other than that, we've seen them go the Ghost of Tsushima route. Like I see, PlayStation upgrading the studios, they're upgrading them with money, with personnel, with building, but also they're upgrading them with quality games. Look at Insomniac. They went from Ratchet and Clank, a franchise I adore, to Spider-Man. They went from Spider-Man to
Now Wolverine.
freaking Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which is amazing. And now we're gonna get Spider-Man 2, we're gonna get Wolverine. They upgraded their studio, they gave them more personnel. Like, it's like with PlayStation, you glow. When you're on PlayStation, you're glowing. You're upgraded. And we've seen it. Well, I'm expecting that to happen without Marquee. The next game is gonna be better than Returnal. That's my hope. Not only my hope, but expectation. The other one is Blue Point. Blue Point already putting themselves open and saying, yeah, our next game is gonna be the benchmark for next gen visuals. Let's freaking go. Show me what you're making. Show me what you're gonna make. I'm excited. I love their games. I can't wait to their next game. So at the end of the day, it was Uncharted 2 that opened the place for PlayStation to become what they are now. No, the juggernaut in the industry. Anyone wanna say anything about this?
Yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
just wanted to bounce something off that Kay said earlier. About like how her standards are higher now because of PlayStation's quality. Like, I think that's almost a problem for me now, because like I'll look at everything through the lens of like a PlayStation game, and if it doesn't match, I mean, it doesn't. If it doesn't look as good as a PlayStation game, I'm already prejudging it, which is probably a bad thing because not everybody can get to that high quality. But it's just like we've been so spoiled over here on this side that it's kind of hard to not expect that from all these other games. And for me, a pivotal point in PS4 history for me was definitely E3 2016, a very memorable moment. When that's when they first showed God of War. They first showed Spider-Man 2. They showed Days Gone. They showed Horizon. Like, they showed like Angers, all of them, like first glimpse of all those games. I think that was the moment for me. I was like, I made the right decision this year. Like, I picked the right console because it was on fire after that. Like, every PlayStation after that E3. It was crazy.
Exactly.
Is one for the ages. We will sadly we will never ever see an E3 like that ever again, or any game event, because PlayStation literally showed their entire catalog. Like, if you look at the amount of games that showcased, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Days Gone, Last Guardian, Death Stranding, Final Fantasy VII Remake,
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I already mentioned it. Crash Bandicoot, I think.
Oh, right. They didn't announce
and The Last of Us Part 2.
That was the next one.
That wasn't announced then.
Oh, yeah, never mind. But okay, let's remove The Last of Us Part 2 then. But still, when you start with The Last Guardian, then, no, you start with God of War, then you go to Horizon Zero Dawn, then you showcase Last Guardian. Like, game after game after game after game after game that I want, that I need, that I played, that I love.
I need a PlayStation to play this. Yep. And when you juxtapose that to the fact that Xbox's E3 that same year, they were just like bringing out celebrities. It just made it look so
I
bad.
don't even remember it.
We don't. No, we don't.
Yeah, you don't.
I wanna ask you guys a question, and which is as follow: how come PlayStation was able to turn things around and Xbox couldn't? Like, can we now? I know I'm gonna give you guys a broken heart, but I want to. Imagine Xbox showcased Crackdown 3. They scratched it and went back to the drawing board and created a Crackdown 3 that is on par with Infamous. Let's give him that for a second. Imagine Scalebound came out. It's a 90 plus meta. Yeah.
I'm still heartbroken about
Two
Scalebound.
games alone could have changed people's perception of Xbox. I would have been playing with on Xbox right now because I was willing. I was going to do everything I can to get a console just so I can play Scalebound. I still remember when I seen Scalebound.
Yeah.
I needed this game, and that was just the CGI trailer when he had his headphone and he removed it. Like, that was shit fire. And when you see the dragon flying, and when the actual gameplay happened, I was losing my shit. I was like, I need this game until the very end when they said co-op or online. I was like, I don't know about this one. Chief, you had foundation. You had everything. Why did you mess it up with co-op? Why? Oh, why? Why couldn't you stick to single player? But I know why. Because Phil Spencer's mindset was single player game doesn't have the same impact. Anyone here would agree with me that if Xbox had genuinely the power to turn things around? If they were smart about it? If they had genuinely amazing leadership?
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Sorry,
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, yeah, those are a lot of ifs. I mean, look, Scalebound was the one game that would have could have convinced me in buying the Xbox. That was the killer app, but I don't think they could have turned it around because this is not something that you could change with just having a new suit at the top. A lot of people who seem to know what to talk about to say that the key difference with Sony is management, is how they manage their studio. So that, I mean, Microsoft can't replicate that. That's why they're buying these studios, and that's why they bought Bethesda, because Bethesda is a publisher, and they told them basically you can basically do what you're doing. We don't want you to come under Microsoft's umbrella in the sense that you're just a division. You're still ZeniMax, Bethesda. You run your own ship. So they bought basically management, right? They bought these studios, these publishers that can run themselves because they can't do that. So they can't do what Sony did. So they have to rely on buying it, and Uh, I don't know if that will pay off for them. It depends on what they're going to do. I mean, personally, I'm not a fan of Bethesda as such.
Same.
But it's a big publisher, so of course it's going to pull over some people. But yeah, I mean, looking in the past, I don't think Microsoft could have done the same thing as Sony did. And I mean, if you go back far enough, of course, at some point Sony made the decision to turn things around and change and turn into what it is today. But I don't think Microsoft could have done that in the last generation. I think that the damage was already done. They fucked it up at the beginning where they were, TV, right? They didn't want to make a console. They wanted to make a multimedia device. Basically, what Sony wants to do with the PS3, and they said that, look, we're going to make a gaming console, the PS4. That's why they won. That's why the PS4 came out on top. And yeah, they had the studios backing it up. So it. I think it would be too easy to say. Might could have been flip the coin if there was another guy in charge or they had done something differently. So no, I don't think Microsoft could turn around. That's sort of the long and short of it.
For me, yeah, I have to agree with Blue. I don't know if they could have turned it around necessarily, just because at the time, I think they only had like 5 studios. So for Xbox, they didn't have enough room to make a mistake. When you only have 5 studios to work with, you can't have a bad game the same way if you have like 12 or 13 studios under your belt. You only have this small select, so everything has to be good, in order to draw people to your platform. So, the fact that Crackdown 3 was a failure, and then, you had games not getting developed and just, pulling money from them and everything, it just kind of all culminated into this, repeated pattern of kind of disasters at Xbox. But I think they did make the right decision with purchasing Bethesda. They needed those studios. They needed all that help. They needed that big publisher. So I think they did make the right move with that. Hopefully this will be the generation where they turn that around and, they can finally get that production level up, and more importantly, that quality level up, so that, they can somewhat make a footing in this generation. I'm not sure if they're going to win it, but, you never know. We'll see.
It's interesting. You guys, anyone with me? No one? Hello? Race? No.
I think the only way that they would make a real turnaround is if Xbox and the leaders of Xbox change their vision and their mindset on where Xbox is going to go.
No, but I'm talking
right now they're set on Game Pass.
So, maybe I wasn't clear. What I said is, forget Game Pass. Forget Xbox bad management. Imagine if they had actual management.
Okay.
Like, let's put Shueisha. I know I'm being too nice on them for a second. Let's put Shueisha Yoshida instead of Phil Spencer. Can you see Xbox turning around then?
Yeah, but the problem is you're saying,
no.
What if Xbox was PlayStation? It's not going to work. Well, no, you are, but because you're stating, okay, what if they had the same management and all the other conditions that cause PlayStation to be where they're at now? And my argument was, it's not just a matter of who is in charge. It's a matter of a complicated set of factors that contribute to put PlayStation where they are today, and just putting a different head there when it's changed it. Like Morgan said, that they had like 5 studios at that point in time. So, and sure, you could in the end put it on it was a management decision to close all those studios, sure, but that was also decided for Phil Spencer. So I don't think that it was as simple as stating, okay, if there's somebody else in charge or different management, they could have turned it around. I'd say it takes more than that. I mean, and you could, of course, argue, okay, yeah, if all these conditions are met, they could have turned it around, but yeah, then they would be just PlayStation. So, and then yeah, I don't think there's a point in arguing it hypothetical, because they're not PlayStation. They're Xbox, and they made different decisions, and that is what put them in the current position. So, and the current position is that they're forced to buy studios and publishers. to make the games that they require for their vision, and their vision is not the same as PlayStation.
Interesting.
But yeah, no.
Just
Go ahead.
curious. Do you guys think Xbox is gonna succeed with introducing Game Pass to the audience with forcing PlayStation to create their own version of the Game Pass? We're gonna start with Blue. Yeah.
Maybe. If they're well, first of all, I mean, I always want to argue what's PlayStation's version of Game Pass, because
Yes, it's PS.
technically that's
Okay, then
PS
PS
Now, but
now gonna
I
have
understand.
blockbuster games day
No,
one.
but
Let's
I
call it that.
understand. No, but yeah. I mean, I understand what you mean, because people are saying PlayStation needs to have an answer to the game. It needs to have their own Game Pass. So clearly they need something else. I say this: the question has two sides to it, because the answer the two answers to it. Because on one hand, they might produce something similar as a response to being reactionary, but I don't think they need it. So I don't think that they should be forced to it, because I don't think Game Pass is going to be successful enough for it. And I think I don't know who said that, but like
Yeah, Sean
it was
Layden
Sean
said
Layden
it.
in the
Yeah.
interview said like Sony. Yes, Sony makes games that cost $100 million or more to produce, and I think some analysts also calculate like they need to have like 300 million subscribers to make that work. So that day and date on subscription service is never going to work for PlayStation.
Don't say never, my dude. Don't say never, my dude.
So
you might regret it one time. Trust me, I've been there.
Yeah, well, but if they're going to do it, they're probably not going to make the blockbuster games they're making today. So I rather not have them go that route.
Okay, answer Craig question first, and then give your opinion.
Do what?
Craig asked you a question, right? So answer it.
Okay. Oh, well, I haven't played Mass Effect, but I was going to ask for the ones that have. Craig asked, who did you take to help the Citadel in Mass Effect 1? Or help save the Citadel in Mass Effect 1.
I never finished Mass Effect 1, so no comment.
Rex and Tali, I already answered that. Those are the only two that matter.
Now go ahead and give your opinion on Game Pass. Do you think Game Pass is gonna become the industry standard? Yes or no?
I don't think it's gonna be the industry standard. I mean, we've had GameFly forever, and even though Game Pass is more popular, so to speak, I mean, if it didn't take off with GameFly and that didn't become the industry standard, I don't think Game Pass is going to.
Morgan.
For me, it's as far as if you mean like for PlayStation, I agree with Blue. Like, I don't think it's sustainable for the type of games that they make. Big, multi-million blockbuster hits, and you need, you need instant. You need a lot of money to recoup. Not to mention, the marketing money they spend on marketing for these gigantic games. I don't think a Game Pass model would be enough to pay for these. And if it was, it'd have to be a subscription service that was a lot more expensive than Game Pass. I don't think that. I do believe that they're going to have some type of answer for it, because Jim Ryan did say,
monkey
we have
see, monkey do,
answer for Game Pass. Last
monkey
year.
see, monkey do.
Huh? Right. I don't think it'll be a direct copy. I don't see a world. I mean, it could always be wrong, but I don't see it a day and date type of thing with at least with PlayStation's first party. I don't see that just because of the cost. And like I said, I don't think it's sustainable. And another point Blue made, like if they did do that, they would definitely have to cut the cost of these games. And I'm one like, look, I love the quality and the production level of PlayStation games, and if I have to pay $70 to get that, I'm not like if the quality of my games has to be cut in order for me to have some type of Game Pass or subscription service. I'm not doing that. Like I want to pay. I'll pay full price for my games. I don't care. But yeah.
Right, Rashid.
Yeah, for me, I'm not really big on streaming. So, like Morgan said, I'd rather pay for my games, and I don't even have PlayStation now because I just don't want streaming to be like the future, so I won't support it. And if there's a game I had to play, I'd play it and cancel it. I don't want to kind of fall into the thing of paying monthly indefinitely for being able to play video games. I just rather buy or even lend it to a friend, or we switch something instead of paying monthly for the rest of my life. So something I don't support and I won't support.
Right.
No, yeah, I feel the same way, just like everybody else. I rather pay for my shit because I don't want them dropping production value just to put it in some service, because that's what they'll have to end up doing to save a buck, if you ask me. And I like how my games are with PlayStation. I want to keep it that way.
It boggles my mind that people want a PlayStation version of Game Pass. Mostly it's Xbox dude, because Xbox dude. But I still some PlayStation dude say, yeah, I want. And the final thing about Game Pass is this. It's great for consumers. It's bad for the developers. But at the same time, it's also bad for the consumers as well. You're not getting blockbuster games. You're getting, well, you're seeing what you're getting. And we're gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put it this way. I got a sister and a brother. They had Game Pass. They played on Xbox. They hardly use that damn thing because they're not interested in anything on there. So they canceled it. My nephew had access to that from my sister's Xbox. He didn't care about it because he'd rather, I'm pretty much his personal Game Pass. So
yeah,
on PlayStation. So he'd rather be over there playing.
With games on Game Pass or Last of Us, Horizon Zero Dawn, Uncharted, God of War. Pick your choice.
Right. And when I had Game Pass too, when it came out, I had it for like I think about 6-7 months, and I paid altogether like 4 games. I had to force myself to go play games over there because I wanted to use the damn thing, and I fucking paid for it. So I double dipped on games I played on PlayStation over there just to breach up my gamer score. But other than that, I hardly ever use that damn thing. But I have to thank Phil Spencer though, man. He had Bloodstain over there, and I played that over there, and I purchased it on my PlayStation. So I thank him for that.
At the end of the day,
that's why it bothers me when Xbox guys always ask why we wouldn't want a Game Pass, or me in particular. Like when I don't want Game Pass. I have nothing against Game Pass. I know the type of games that I'm into, and I just don't feel like it'll be sustainable. Like maybe we'd have these big blockbusters for like maybe the first year or so with the Game Pass like model, but then after that they start cutting them down and like, oh, we're gonna put these, or it's gonna be little pieces and bits of games. I'm not taking any kind of sacrifice on my games.
Yeah, because think about that. The games they released, their personal games they released, all had problems when they came out on there.
Yeah.
Fucking Gears had fucking problems. Fucking Crackdown. I didn't play Crackdown, but I know that shit was missing shit. They said like co-op or whatever was missing.
Mhm.
I think Forza might have been like the only one, but they went like online with that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think this Game Pass thing is really good for consumer. Anything corporations do, I don't think it's
Yeah.
good for consumers at all. It's good for them. So I feel like with the Game Pass and all that, they're just trying to capitalize on services as a whole. And it's
Yeah.
just you're saying before more about the not publisher, the studios and things. It's not good for them. So I play a lot of indie games. I know me and Omar do, and I like buying them to support the studio or whatever directly. So I have no trouble doing that at all. And I just, like I said, I just don't want another subscription because we do our phone bill, everything. You know what I mean? All these things. So I don't want another one. I don't want another one I have to pay for. So I'm good on that.
Yeah. And I think the subscription service in particular, I think it fits kind of Xbox's type of games. This is not like a slight at Xbox's. They're more multiplayer and RPG focused. So I think that kind of works with the subscription kind of service because you can like do seasons and stuff like that. But as far as like a single player narrative driven story focused style game, I'm not sure a subscription service would really work for that because those take a long time. It's it all the game is given to you at once. There's not really seasons like that unless you do like with the Telltale type games or something like that.
So you mean like they'll have to keep like subscription or like online games on there just to have you like stick to it.
Exactly. The point of a subscription, they have to keep adding content to keep you subscribed. Like,
right.
And it would be hard to do that with a single player experience unless you pieced it up or something like that. So that's why I'm just not interested in one over here.
I tried it. It's not for me, and I'll leave it as that. I would rather.
Yeah, well, when I had it, it was like half the shit on there I already have, and the other half I didn't really care about. So
Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like PlayStation gamers are more inclined to buy games.
I mean,
they want to own their
know
games.
why Game Pass exists to begin with. Like, we genuinely know why.
Yeah.
This was episode 4 of Game Slayer. Fantastic conversation. Go ahead, Blue. Do your intro.
It's Blue Rhizome, aka the Weep Sheriff. Good night.
Okay.
Okay. It's been a great podcast. We had some really good conversations. Thanks for everyone showing up and talking in the chat.
Morgan.
Hey guys, it's Morgan. You can find me on Twitter at ChillBandit. Another great episode. Really great discussions today. It's been fun. Thank you everybody for coming out tonight.
Rashid.
Hey, I'm Rashid. We don't have any social media to plug. I just like talking to Omar and everyone else because they're good people. So thank you for listening, and hopefully see you next time.
Finally, but not least, Bryce.
Yeah, the big star, Emperor Wraith at Twitter, man. You can find me on there, But no, I'm just kidding. But all these people are pretty cool, man. I've got to meet them, from the DMs and shit. Besides, Rod Ruby. Sorry if I butchered your name. And Blue, I haven't really ever talked to, but follow everybody on here. That's pretty much all I got to say.
Hey, don't follow me.
Hey, shout out to you all for coming. Thanks for Innate for coming. He had to dip out. Stone is 90% gonna be there next week. It's hit the like button, share the stream out, and see you next week.